Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Novian Hamidah and my student number 1201042721 and 7. And in this occasion, I would like to explain about my thesis, and the title is The Effect of Text-to-Speech Software on Improving Students' Listening Skill. And my supervisor is Mr. Dr. Dodi Setiawan, MBD. We come to the background. Listening is considered the most important skill because this skill is first used by the learners when they start learning a language, especially spoken language. It's according to Wulan and Shaya 2021. And then the problems that I found when I was observed in the school, they are students have a very limited vocabulary, and then difficulty in identifying the communicative purpose of the material, and then difficulty in finding the main idea in the material being listened, and students cannot understand native speakers who speak a normal speed. And then teaching listening by using text-to-speech, the teachers can more easily teach listening with clear and fluent pronunciation, especially when the teacher will teach text material. It's said from ILMI 2014. So the identification of the problem, the first is the students could not write when they heard correctly, and then the students have difficulty in understanding native speakers who speak at a normal speed, and then the students have difficulty in identifying the communicative purpose of the material, and then students have difficulty in finding the main idea in the material. So the formulation of the research, the first is how is the students' listening skill who are taught by using text-to-speech software at MA Muhammadiyah Pekanbaru, and the second is how is the students' listening skill who are taught without using text-to-speech software at MA Muhammadiyah Pekanbaru. And then the last is there a significant difference between students who are taught by using text-to-speech software and without using text-to-speech software toward students' listening skill at MA Muhammadiyah Pekanbaru? So the objective of the problem, to find out whether there is a significant difference between students who are taught by using text-to-speech software and without using text-to-speech software towards their listening skill at MA Muhammadiyah Pekanbaru. And then the definition of the term according to Bacon et al. 2000. And then we come to the chapter 2, theoretical framework. I took the listening skill from Sefik 2012, and then Argil to 1972. So text to speech I took from Chapelle and Sauro 2019, and then Wakanma et al. 2014. So teaching listening through text-to-speech software I took from ILMI 2014, and then Fitria 2023. So the relevant research from Pramono 2022, and then Fitria 2022, and JARF 2022, and Fidiasi 2019. And then we come to the operational concept. The first is Parable X about the using of text-to-speech software from ILMI 2014, and then variable Y listening skill, the indicators I took from Merdeka Curriculum. So the hypothesis of this research, the null hypothesis, there is no significant difference between the students who are taught by using text-to-speech software and the students who are taught without using text-to-speech software toward their listening skill at MA Muhammadiyah Pekanbaru. And then the alternative hypothesis, there is a significant difference between the students who are taught by using text-to-speech software and the students who are taught without using text-to-speech software towards their listening skill at MA Muhammadiyah Pekanbaru. So we come to the chapter 3, the research method. I use this research by using quantitative method, and then the design is quasi-experimental design. So we come to the time allocation. The time is from January to March 2024, and then the location at MA Muhammadiyah Pekanbaru in Pekanbaru, and then the subject and the object of the research. The subject is the 10th grade students in MA Muhammadiyah Pekanbaru, and the object is students' listening skill. So the population of the research in this research is the class for class 10 1 is 20 students, and 10 to 20 students, and the total of students is for 40 students. I took all of the class for the sample. So the technique of collecting the data, I use the test by using multiple choice, and then I did the pre-test and post-test, and then the treatment. Okay, we continue to the validity and reliability. So to find out the validity of instrument, the researcher used SPSS 25 program to conduct a tryout to 20 items by handing them to 30 students who were out the research sample. And the result of the analysis showed that there were 20 questions accepted or valid, and it can be seen at the table below. Based on the table, it was clear that all the items were valid and accepted to be tested. The researchers took 20 items to be tested as an instrument. So for the reliability, the level of reliability, we can see it from Cohen et al. 2007, and the result of the reliability is from the Cronbunch alpha 0.856, and the number of the item is 20 items. So from the table above, we can conclude. I can conclude that the test was reliable and the level of reliability was high, because according to Cohen 2007, he stated that reliability of the question, if the score hit 0.6 or greater, considered as sufficiently reliable. From the table, we can see that the result is 0.856. So for the technique of the data analysis is by using the normality test and then the independent test. Okay, now we come to the findings. And the first is students' listening skill taught by using text-to-speech software of the 10th grade students at MA Muhammadiyah. For the first, we can see from the table of the distribution of frequency of students' pre-test score of experiment class. The lowest score is 35, and then the higher is 80. So the mean score of these scores is 54. It means pre-test score of experimental class classified enough. And then the post-test, the distribution of frequency for post-test of experiment class, the highest is 95, and then the lowest is 65. It means and the mean score of the post-test experiment class is 81. It means it classified very good. So number 2. And then students' listening skills without using text-to-speech software of the 10th grade students at MA Muhammadiyah. We can see from the table the table distribution of frequency of pre-test score of control class. The lowest score is 35, and then the highest is 80. And then we can see the mean score is 53.75. It's mean classified enough. And then the table distribution of the frequency post-test score of control class, you can see the highest is 90. The high score is 90, and the lowest is 45. It means, and then the mean score is 69. It means for the post-test score of control class, it classified good. Number 3, we come to number 3. The difference between students' listening skill who were taught without and by using the text-to-speech software of the 10th grade students at MA Muhammadiyah Pekanbaru. For the result of we can see the difference between the student post-test score in experimental and control class. We can see from the mean of the experimental and control class were 81, and then 81 and 69. And the standard deviation of both classes were 8.366 and 13.822, and the mean and standard deviation of experimental and control classes were significantly different. Okay, we were analyzing the data using the independent sample t-test. The researcher first tested the normality of the data. The result of the normality of the data here, from the table, it can be seen for all the data from the experimental and control classes, as well as the pre-test and post-test, showing that the Kolmogorov-Smirnov value and Shapiro-Wilk, we can see from the significant, it's more than 0.5, and this means that the data is normally distributed because the research data was normally distributed, and the researcher continued by using the parametric independent sample t-test. And here is the output of the independent sample t-test that show that the t-test result is 3.321, and deviation is 38, and the significance is 10.39, and the mean difference is 12, and then standard error is 3.613, and the lower difference interval is 4.686, and the upper interval is 19.314. And then based on the output, it was found that the significant two-tailed, the value was 0.002. It can be said that 0.002 is less than 0.05. It means that null hypothesis is rejected while the alternative hypothesis is accepted. It means that there is a significant difference who were taught without and by using text-to-speech software of the 10th grade students at MA Muhammadiyah Pekanbaru. So we come to the conclusion. The conclusion is, the first is the students' listening skill taught by using text-to-speech software of 10th grade students at MA Muhammadiyah Pekanbaru was categorized into very good level. At mean score is 81.00, and then the students' listening skill taught without using text-to-speech software of 10th grade students at MA Muhammadiyah Pekanbaru was categorized into good level. At mean score is 69, and the last is, we can see there was significant difference of using text-to-speech software towards students' listening skill at MA Muhammadiyah Pekanbaru. Okay, I think enough. This all my presentation today. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.